Hello, second grade. Welcome to Science with Miss Conley. We have been talking about a lot when it comes to butterflies and caterpillars. We've talked about spiders. We've talked about the frog's life cycle. Today, we're going to compile a list of all of our questions on the unit that we've learned. So we are going to ask questions about our science unit using our Bloom's taxonomy. Remember, when we use our Bloom's taxonomy, we're asking questions that are going to really make our brains think. We don't want to ask questions where our answers are just yes and no, because that doesn't really make us think that much. We want to think about everything that Miss Conley has taught us in this unit. Here is an overview of all the different types of vocabulary words that we have learned. This will help you when you are trying to formulate questions for your classmates. Miss Conley is going to review these. I'm going to say the word. You should repeat after me. Caterpillar, pupa, larva, metamorphosis, abdomen, chrysalis, caspasis, sage, plantain, spider, survive, habitat, shelter, thorax, spinneret, antenna, molting, exoskeleton, silk, butterfly, segments, emerge, insect, meconium, vertebrate, invertebrate, amphibian, tadpole, organism, cold-blooded, gills, egg, froglet, aquatic. Wow! These are a lot of vocabulary words, and I bet you also have some that you could probably add to this list. Let's think about some of our guiding questions for this lesson. What questions can we ask in our unit? How can we compare and contrast information we have learned in this unit? When I look at this picture up here, that looks like a froglet. Remember, a froglet is part of the life cycle right before the frog becomes an adult frog. Okay, boys and girls, let's think about some questions that will stretch our brain, and it will really show what we've learned so far in this unit. Here are my question stems. I'm going to ask, how would you explain what an insect is? Remember, in previous units, we have talked about really what the true definition is of an insect. This is my favorite one here. Can you clarify? Because you can use that with any new vocabulary word that you've used during this unit. Can you clarify what the word caspasis means? Remember in our previous units, we talked about that word. It was the word that we used when a caterpillar is in the metamorphosis stage and how the enzymes break up. Here's that one again. How would you explain? How would you explain what metamorphosis is? You should be able to answer a lot on that. This is always my favorite. Comparing and contrasting. How is a spider similar to a butterfly? Now remember, when you are going to ask these questions, try not to, remember it needs to start with these question stems. And if you've looked at these question stems, none of them give you a yes or no answer. None of them have something that says did in it. Did you like caterpillars? Did you like spiders? So those wouldn't be questions that we ask. You also want to stay away from questions that we really can't answer, that we really haven't learned in this unit. Sometimes friends will say, well, why can butterflies fly? Well, we already know that butterflies can fly because they have wings. Is that really something that is stretching our brain? So make sure you're asking questions that really talk about the knowledge that you've learned in this unit. And if you need to, go back to those vocabulary words because you can think of all kinds of interesting questions. Okay, boys and girls, this is your assignment for today. You're going to go back to Google Classroom and you will have a Google document and you're going to ask 3 questions on what we have learned in this unit. And you're going to make sure you put your name. Miss Conley will do a model for you. Okay, boys and girls, your teacher is going to do a Google document where everyone is going to have access to this. This is why this is so important because we can actually collaborate and see what other questions our friends have asked. It's okay if you use the same question as your own friend because certainly we're going to run out of lots of questions to ask, but try and do your best to come up with your own questions. Here are some examples that Miss Conley has done. What is the habitat for a frog? Hopefully you remember that because Miss Conley did a lesson all about frogs. Let me think of another question. Remember, Miss Conley wants you to do 3 questions. Can you clarify why sage is important? And I'm going to put Miss Conley. You'll put your name so I know what questions that you've been asking. Hopefully you remember that sage is a plant that caterpillars like to eat. Let me think of a 3rd question because that's part of the assignment. How would you explain the parts of a butterfly? Hopefully you remember all the parts of a butterfly. If you don't, you can go back to previous lessons. Remember, they have an abdomen, they have a thorax, they have legs, they have antennas. So today, all we're going to do is ask questions. Remember, when we ask questions, it is a question mark. And you're going to ask 3. And the next science lesson for next week, you guys are going to be answering the questions. You're going to pick an answer or you're going to pick a question from your friend. So today, all you're doing is asking. Good luck, boys and girls.